Okay, so we're back. I cheated, I did a little bit of work. I started to do some polishing just so the video wouldn't be so long. I also decided to use a little, after I wiped the wash off, and because this model is so big and because I can't really explain why there would be red chips on rocks, I went ahead and just wiped the facade, and went back with a little bit thicker acrylic medium than usual. And you could use pretty much anything. I just used some of this here and just painted that there just to get rid of the orange chips. Inside, I don't care as much because the ink's going to settle in there. And, maybe there's red for whatever reasons. But on the facade of the rocks, I couldn't quite work that in my head. And every now and then, it bothers me. So feel free to do that. You can always take a couple of minutes and uh, and fix some stuff. But like I was saying, remember when I made this mistake here, and I was like, yeah, who cares? Um, See that it kind of just looks like you know a battle scar. So I don't care that it's there. Most of the time, when you make a mistake, it's not that big of a deal. On a miniature as big as this, they're going to be more glaring. But as long as you can look at it and go, "Oh no, that makes sense to me," then who cares? You're good to go. And then I already started polishing too, but I'm going to do a little bit just to show. So I just use this right here, and I just wipe away the excess and any of the hard um, like ridges. As I go over them, I try to take some of the excess ink and kind of go. This is really hard. I don't have the best setup. Once again, I apologize. So see how there's like a ridge right there? If you're not careful, you'll get rid of all that ink. So what I like to do is kind of use the polish and push it into the crevices. And that's all you do is you continue to make sure that the ink gets pushed into the crevice and not out of. And then you go and you do that for the whole model, which I pretty much already have. Making sure you get all your nooks and crannies filled. And then after you go and you polish it up real nice, like I said, I redid this, so we'll have to rewash this later, which is no big deal. We'll do that after we do this part. And you might find yourself, if you didn't let it dry long enough or whatever, you might need to add another coat of wash, and that's okay. Yeah, it adds to the total time, but if it's important to you, go ahead and do it. It's no big deal. See, so these were, the ink wasn't staying in these, so I really had to make sure I kind of pushed it in there. And what's nice with that polish, it kind of acts like a rub and buff. It kind of gets in there and holds it in there real well. With for the next part, that's important, because we're gonna go use one of these. So what I like to do, because I'm pretty cheap, is I get these little makeup sponges and I just cut them in half. That way I can use a whole new surface area. And then I will kind of just put a little bit of this in here just to make it not grab the ink out of the crevices, and I'll come and just gently come over I'll work the the flat areas. And the more you work it, the brighter it comes out. So, you know, if you're doing just a pure wash, almost like, you know, like what they do with the, like Wake and Rome's does with Sundrop, you wouldn't have the paints here. So you can see how this would look without the paints, and that would probably be swank. That'd probably be fine. So, I mean, you don't have to do the extra gold or the blue or the gray, and it still will come out looking really nice. I like to do some fancy stuff sometimes. So this is really the payoff. This is when you get to do the polish and see. And the more battle scar, and this I've talked about with the He-Man model, the more, the harder that you press, the more of the ink is going to come off. So it's up to you as to how much do you want. I'm trying my best to get this in. How much of the ink do you want to take off? And I've decided that I kind of like to leave a good amount of the ink on there, especially for a model like this where he's gonna be pretty war torn, right? I mean, he's a fighter. He doesn't care what he looks like. And you just work it around the model. Look at this shape area. See that? And remember, there's very little skill involved in this. I am clearly not a painter. But if you keep your coats, in that first coat, if you keep it thin enough, and you're pretty mindful with the when you're polishing to get all the little nooks and crannies filled, then it's just like a coloring book. You know, somebody in a coloring book did all that work to make the picture, and all you have to do is stay in the lines. Well, it's the same with these models. Somebody did all the work to make this beautiful model. I'm not out here trying to cover it up with as much paint as possible. Let's just get this hand. I'm out here just to accentuate the work that they've already done. Let the people who are, really good artists, let them cover it with a bunch of primer and fancy primer techniques and stuff. That is not for me, man. I'm out. I see that in there. I took away too much. I pressed too hard, and I took away a lot of the. It probably tells me also I didn't get in there when I did the paintbrush and the polish. I probably didn't get in here well enough, and I'm glad I did that because now it's missing. If I really want to, when I re-ink down here, I can fill that in with some more ink and be a little more mindful. Come in here, take it off. I said, as we get deeper into this, as I do more videos, and as I learn to shoot videos and that kind of stuff, as I learn more about it, I'll do a better step-by-step process. But I do not expect anybody to watch these videos. These are just what I call sloppy learning. Just get in and get started and make all the mistakes you can and be appreciative of your accomplishment of doing it, of getting started. And then later on, as I get better, I'll do some better videos and do more of how to this, that, and the third. But I would say that is pretty much what I'm looking for out of this model. I'll redo the ink down here and get a little in here, let it dry. Well, that's the thing, I can come back and fix it if I want. I can put some more ink, I can put some more paint. It's really forgiving. The oil wash is super forgiving. But he just looks like a war-torn sentinel out trying to rid the world of those pesky mutants. And just to give you an idea, like this is which would you rather play with at the table, right? Now these are huge. Normally I'd say 10 minutes of work, but this is an hour of work. Even if I wasn't trying to film it and everything, it probably would still, with all of the touch up and everything else I'm gonna do. Also, I'm gonna paint this base too, so I'll do another video showing like the post wash down here and the painted base. Would you rather play with this on the table or this? Like not even done yet. I still have a little work, probably another 10 minutes of work to do on this. I would much rather have that on the table than that. It's just me. But, okay. That's that. Peace.